Cool. Awesome. Think we're good. Hello there, and welcome to the stream. For those of you who are joining in right at the gate or who are watching offline, today we are going to be working on a new-ish comic concept. I have these characters called the Trash Band, and they are my most well-sold sticker at any event I've gone to. So, I want to make a comic based around them. I already have a poster for them that's headlining their debut concert and album called The Commute. So I wanted to get some character sheets in so I could better make the comic. I think it's going to be very fun, and I really enjoy the concept. So if you also enjoy the concept, I think we'll all be in for a great time. Let me pull up some reference images for myself. Some of the stickers are in the back. You can probably see them. But I would like some personal images for myself. Just so I know who I'm drawing, because I want to make them consistent with the stickers. Alright. And while we're doing this, we'll probably also be coming up with their personalities. Because I have like a baseline understanding of who these guys are as animals. But I don't have their personality completely lined out. I think we're gonna start with the possum, just cause they're my first little guy. She, haven't decided yet. They're the one who started this band. They started it all. But because of this, let's make some guidelines for myself. That is about how tall the character will be. Awesome. New layer. This is displaying well. So, possum, and I'm thinking I'm just gonna name them via the name of what animal they are. They're the one who started this band. They are the passion behind this entire project. Do they know much about running a band? Absolutely not. Heck no. They know nothing. But they have all of the passion they need in order to start this project and get their teammates all together. I'm like so excited about these characters. I've been having a lot of fun this week putting together their debut album. I get the feeling these guys, like, the entire comic is gonna be them trying to make it in the industry. They're gonna be doing silly things to try and run their band. Like, for example, they'll be performing somewhere and someone will ask them, "Oh my gosh, your stuff sounds so good. Do you have any CDs that I could buy?" They'd be like, "Oh, no, we don't have any CDs. Not yet." And they're like, "Oh, well, you should burn some. I would really love to buy I would love to buy some of your CDs." So, cuts to a frame of them and their team just surrounding a pile of CDs that they have set on fire. Oh. Stuff like that. That is essentially what these guys are gonna be. I need to see if I can get in contact with the indie band at some point to ask them about their experiences, about being just how things go in the music industry, because I can guess, but I'm sure there's some stuff that would be funnier if I got some guys. I think maybe I need to doodle these guys a bit more, because I think if I go straight into making a turnaround, the turnaround won't be correct, because then I'll end up changing the characters anyway. I'm trying to decide if Possum would be the heartthrob of the group. They're definitely the passion of the group, but are they the heartthrob as well? Strumming along to their banjo. Do they have any pretty privilege as a possum? I kind of get the feeling that the raccoon would be the heartthrob of the group. That seems more in line with the base personalities that I have in my head for these guys. This is kind of close, but we'll draw again. In my sticker example, the possum has a very pointy face. Because if you've ever looked at a picture of a possum, they have quite the pointy looking face. And then I gave them quite the round body. But also they're kind of just curled around their banjo. I'm gonna keep the characters simple for the comic, because I don't want to make it too difficult to repeat draw them. If they're on the simpler side, that would be great. Animals don't have shoulders, so I need to remember that while drawing them. I'm pretty sure possum tails are pretty darn stiff. But I might just play around with that from the standpoint of I could do whatever I want. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a good start to your day. I know it's pretty early in the morning, at least for me. So, day hasn't started up too much. I think we're drawing the character pretty consistently here. Switching between the two. Let me pull up a picture of a possum just to make sure that I'm getting their legs correct before I Just commit. Yeah, they're just kind of there. No, opossums are so silly. So silly. So I think this portion is no. That portion is good, so then we can draw the front. Hello, V! Welcome to the stream. We are drawing. Wow, that went down. We are drawing the trash band. Currently, I'm making some character sheets for that, so I have a better understanding of, you know, these characters before I go about drawing them for a comic. But essentially, these are going to be silly little critters. They're trying to start a band. They don't quite know how to do it, but they're going to make their mark. One paw print on a purse at a time. I need a turnaround sheet for that, and then we'll, if there's time, I will also work on the comic, the opening comic panel. Very excited seeing this band. I was really interested when you mentioned it last stream. I'm glad. Yeah, I worked all week on making their band poster. So they now have an album called The Commute, and they're working on getting their name out there, selling tickets. They're going to be performing in all of the major stations. Like in New York, they're going to perform on the subway, and then they're going to go over to Detroit and play on the People Mover. They're gonna go over to Milwaukee and play on the Hop, and it's still to be determined, but they might be playing on the Skyline in Hawaii. Yeah, if you want, I could quickly pull up the poster and show you what I've got going on. I love those venues. Like half of those, I like already knew the transit system, and other ones I had to search them up because they were. I haven't traveled in those cities, so I didn't know the transit system they had going on. Like what? If you're happy to shoot, yes. I just need to make this a touch bit smaller so full page can be seen. Awesome. Go over to OBS. Where are you, sir? Select window. Where's it? There it is. Okay. Huh? No! No, please! There we go. here is the trash band. I think it's so adorable. I spent a good 5 hours screen printing one day to get the background. And then I spent the next day pretty much. I don't know, that was a good portion of my day. Thank you. One of those isn't, I was like, oh, it'd be so funny if I like drew on foil. And then my dad's like, what do you mean by that? I was like, oh, you know how the inside of candy wrappers is shiny? And he's like, what? What do you mean shiny? And so I opened up a chocolate that I had on my desk and I showed him. It was like shiny. And he's like, oh, wait, yeah, that would be so good. And then he handed me a piece of paper towel and he's like, do you have a Sharpie? And I was like, so I drew that one by hand. Like all of them I drew, but like that one I did on an actual chocolate wrapper that I then scanned. Exactly. I want it to make it feel as if they put this poster together themselves. Like they grabbed all of the materials they needed and they cut everything out and pasted everything together to build their own poster because they want it to be like the big bands. They want it to have a poster and advertise, and they're gonna have so many tours. Will they get to Hawaii? Probably not. But will they try? Definitely. They gave themselves a week. I'm sure they can figure it out. Sharpie on foil works really well. My mom showed me as a kid. Yeah. Yeah, I had to edit it slightly because the scanner, it's metal, so it was very highlighty, and then also there was areas where you just could not clearly see the image. But after a little bit of editing, it's my dad's favorite one out of all of them, and I don't know if it's just because he was directly involved in the process of making it, but it was very silly. Okay, this shall go over here, and I will put it behind the PNG tuber. There we go. Pen. I love how each of the bands are drawn on a different material and different media. Yeah. I wanted to make it look as if each one of them drew their own guy. Or at least had different opinions on how it was going to be handled. I felt it added to the eclectic feel. Like, these are animals. They don't understand. They're just here for the love of the game. I had this idea that somehow they managed to get themselves into a hoity-toity kind of restaurant setting venue, and they think that this is how they're gonna make it. They're finally gaining a presence, and they're finding that they're playing all of their softer music, and they're like, this isn't us. We're not fancy. We do eat the tiny cheese cubes, but that's because tiny cheese cubes are objectively awesome. But this isn't us. We're animals. So then they decide to rock it out. They decide to rock it out the way they want, and they get kicked out of the venue, and they're like, that's okay. That's okay. We'll find our market. We'll find our people. But not this way. This isn't us. Oh, I have the ad frequency on the lowest it can go. I am so sorry you're getting interrupted by the fantasticness that is the trash band. It's just not right. Hopefully the ad wasn't too long. yeah, these guys, they're gonna rock it out. They're gonna make their mark on the world. They're not sure exactly how to do it yet, but they're working on it. Do they have names? I have not come up with names for them yet. I'm halfway tempted to just call them by their animal names to just accentuate the fact that they're animals. Like, should possum just stay possum? Or should I give them actual names? Like, I could definitely call them by nicknames. Like, possum could be called Posse on the occasion, and seagull could be Gull. And crow's too cool for nicknames, so they don't get a nickname. And then raccoon could be Coon. I don't want to take too much from the fact that they're animals. I like that as halfway. Yeah. We don't need to spell out their name every single time, but also have a way to distinct them from everyone else. My dad thought that I should like name them after some pop culture, like some artists. I wasn't like sure if I wanted to do that because these guys aren't well known. They're not known in the industry yet. Having popular names, not sure if that'd work. As for the time period of the comic, I think I will keep it to be like technically this is modern era, but they're gonna do a whole bunch of things. Like they're getting a whole bunch of conflicting evidence. Maybe not racy, but I do like, yeah, Poss, Gulliver, Crow. Crow, just keeping it real with their own name. It'd be really funny if Crow was originally part of the big band called The Murder. I also have plans where like there's other bands around. Like there's this pigeon group that takes this group under their wing and they're called Three Coups Down. Trying to find a brush that I want to use for outlining. I thought it'd be interesting if one of the nicknames was actually elongated rather than shortened, hence Gulliver. Very true, very true. I don't know if the seagull, because they're all kind of unhinged, but the seagull is definitely the most unhinged out of the entire group. They are playing the harmonica, and I'm not sure if they're actually playing the harmonica or that it's just an excuse for their vocals, because seagulls don't have lips, so he's just kind of screaming into it. Like occasionally he'll get to actually play the harmonica as it's intended, but that's because he accidentally swallowed it a bit. So then he's just making huffing like do you remember like have you ever seen those videos where a person has a harmonica in their mouth and then someone makes them laugh and then they're just frantically laughing, but then the harmonica is making their laugh sound even sillier, so then they're dying from the harmonica laughter, and it's just an endless loop. It's like that. Just like real life, they're probably gonna have a toxic fan base in the future. I, they don't, they don't care. They're animals. They're gonna, they're gonna make the music they like and enjoy, and no one's gonna get in their way. But yeah, they would probably have some sort of fan base who's like trying to gatekeep the experience of the trash band and be like, no, 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 that you can't be a real trash band enjoyer unless you've been to their their 20 their 2023 concert. That was really when they got started. I need to like try and find an indie band that I can get in contact with to see if I can get some silly things that happen in the industry. My dad also suggested that I do some research in the form of a mockumentary. I can't remember exactly what it was called. It was like Slip something. So I will probably watch that at some point. They're gonna do very silly things. Like, guys, we gotta advertise our concert. Yeah, yeah. So then they write down, so then they go around with Sharpies and write on things and hand out flyers that are like, come to our concert! And it's just that. There's nothing else. No other indication of where the concert's going to be, what time, what date, nothing else. Just come to our concert! Oh my gosh, how I would love to watch an animated series or show based on these scrappy, silly, up-and-coming animal trash band. Yeah, yeah. And I'm thinking it would be really funny if you don't actually, no one actually knows what the trash band sounds like. It's purely a band built up off of the lore and how they came together. And it's up to your guys' interpretation of what they actually sound like. And no one actually knows. So any so then there's like a whole bunch of interpretations on just what they actually sound like, if they actually sound somewhat good, or if they just sound completely unhinged. Like indie rock, yeah. That's the vibe I'm going for, but actual sound wise, we have no idea well, we can like have a general idea of what they sound like, but there's gonna be no canon sound. It's whatever the viewer decides they sound like. All interpretations of trash band are correct interpretations. Sound-wise, anyway. Their lyrics are probably not gonna have any actual words, it's just guttural animal noises. Good is subjective. Yeah, some people like really dig them, and others are like, it's just noise. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna love working on this comic so much. It's so fun to story bounce. I I love them so much. Your muffled laughter sounds like being strangled. I've just been, I've, you know when you have an idea and it just captures you and no way else and you want to work on nothing else but that idea? I've been having this problem all week. I have other things to do besides working on the trash band. I they're good in my heart. In actuality, their band probably is like based solely off of passion. It's they probably don't actually sound very good because they're animals. Did you intentionally muffle your laughter? I was just laughing. I wasn't necessarily trying to do anything. The commute sounds like an indie band similar to like Neutral Milk Hotel. Yeah, indie bands are like my favorite thing to listen to, so I will definitely have a lot of their stuff be influenced by that because that's the music I like to listen to, or at least indie stuff. Stuff that's weird. Slightly out of norm. That's stuff I like. I'm sure I'm gonna have to remake these character sheets after I draw the comic for a while. 'Cause naturally, you settle into what you want your characters to be over the course of the comic. Like Bean, he used to have skinny little legs, and then I decided that's not what I wanted for Bean, so he has like his legs that are equal in width to his torso. Do you have no confidence in Animal's ability to create music? No, no, I have the most confidence. As their creator, I have no doubt that they can make it in this industry. They just need to find their audience, find their sound, and they'll get there. I believe in them. Yeah, if I can get this going, I think it would be really fun to merchandise them, to start giving them like classic band merch, like t-shirts. I'm gonna have so much fun with this comic. You guys don't even know. Didn't sound like you did. I do believe in them. I do believe in them. I just know they're animals. I have confidence in them. No confidence in them. Why would I be making a whole comic based around them? Sounds silly. Why would I make a comic about a emerging band that can't make it? That sounds cruel. This, I think, is gonna have like We Bear Bear vibes in the sense of it's just animals interacting with humans, and it's completely normal. Like, no one thinks twice about the fact that there's animals who are playing in a band. Like, there will be some times when they go, what are you doing here? But other times, they're just like, yeah, We're interacting. It's fine. We're purposely not gonna think too much on the logistics of this, just in the sense that they're animals, they're here, they're talking to humans, and no one thinks this is weird. No one's gonna go, oh my gosh, why are the animals talking? No, that's not gonna happen. But also sometimes they will just be treated like animals who came into a place uninvited. But if they start talking, no one's gonna question, oh wait, what? Like the opening comic, I'm going to have them on a stage. They didn't like book it. And they're gonna be playing their little hearts out, introducing us to all the members of the band and their different instruments. And you cut to them like standing on the stage, standing proud, being all excited that they've finished their first song, and then they get swept off the stage by a person who it was like managing it with a broom. It's where will you be posting this comic? I'll probably at least put it on my website, because this is great. This is great portfolio material. But I think I'm gonna sell a zine of it at Comic-Con. Maybe I'll post it on Webtoons as well. I'm not sure. But they also have influence from Radiohead as well. Mayhaps. I will need to look into all of the mockumentaries and tour, like band tour videos. Find all of the silly stories that have happened to them. Alright, I think we've got a good turnaround for Possum. So let's color this, and we can move on to the next member of our band. I'm glad you enjoyed the background music. We are listening to Wanderstop. This is by C418. I think I mentioned that last week, but just to clarify. Just thinking about if you're listening to it on Spotify. I'm listening to it on Spotify. I know it's not the best platform for it, just because they're not great about paying out their artists, from what I've heard. At some point, I need to just, like, download a bunch of music. When I have more adult income, then I will buy. I have listened to music so much, so it will become a very big investment of mine when I finally start, like, buying a bunch of albums. And light gray. I'm not sure if I like the fact that there's two scroll wheels on here. Light gray. A little bit. Yeah. Give it a little bit of tone. So, personality-wise, I'm thinking that Possum is the ideas man. They started this band off of hopes, dreams, and determination. So they have a lot of the main ideas of how they want to go about advertising. other people suggest stuff too, but they're the main person who's suggesting ideas. Still sticking with the commute, sounding like a 90s indie band. Fair enough, fair enough. It's open to interpretation. Definitely ideas, man. One who started the band and the one who ultimately decides the direction of the group. Takes input and will listen to the others, but they will nix ideas that they think goes against the core value of the band. Yes. Like my idea is to play off of some tropes or sayings like I found him at the bottom of a bottle. At the bottom of a bottle. So it would be not actually alcoholic, literally at the bottom of a bottle. Not sure which one is going to be stuck in the bottom of the bottle, but stuff like that, where you lightly play off of some of the vices that artists tend to have, and then twist it slightly to be more animal themed. I don't listen to Radiohead. Maybe I've heard a song or two from them, but it's not the main group of music I listen to. I'm sure I've run into a couple of their songs based on what I listen to, but they are not the main group I listen to. I think I went one darker. And then for a little bit of flair, they get pink Tootsies as a treat. Can't be too detailed with it, because I have to draw them a bunch of times, but do you want to get them looking close to the stickers? Pink. Yeah, this is it's probably good. There we go. I'm interpolating here because I'm pretty sure when I was looking at pictures of possums, their feet were actually... Oh, no, they got little pink tootsies. It's okay. We're good. We're good. My interpretation of them has not gone too far off the rails. Do I think I've given too much pink foot to them. Yeah, and the stickers, more of their foot was gray. It's just their little toes. Yeah. I think I'll leave it like that, and we can do a little bit of writing on who they are. Hold on. This is awesome. Do we want Possum to be a girl or a guy? My favorite part about October is the scary stuff of going to a Halloween haunt. Ooh, that is pretty fun. My friends are going to a haunted house today, I'm pretty sure. That are the Ren Fair. I don't know what they're doing. They've had multiple things planned this week. Okay, Possum. They're all envies. I think we'll do she, her for the possum. I think we'll make raccoon a guy. Ideas, man. Passion of the group. I don't know how I spell pseudo. Let me look that up real quick. Pseudo. I even look this up. Oh, it's one of those words. It's spelled with P. Okay. So, pseudo leader. Guys, guess what time it is? It's broom time. Dun, 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 dun. This track is called Broom. It's my favorite one, hence why we stop and enjoy it for a second. Da 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 da. Alright, end of broom time. Back to it. Pseudo leader will make final decisions. They like to pretend that they've got things going. They have things under control. They know what they're doing. But they don't all the time. Like, lightly anxious? Pretends they know what they are doing. Pretends. There's something that feels familiar about that track. I mean, I played it last week, so if it feels familiar, that's because you've definitely heard it before. I think we are good. I think we're good for possum. Move on to our next guy. Who should we do next? Should we do raccoon or should we do seagull? Raccoon was technically the next one that I drew. So it makes sense that that's the next one that I draw. You pick? Alright. I guess I'll do raccoon. Body shape. Similar body shape to the possum. The main thing that will be the difference is their tail. Definitely draw them again though before I decide on the background. Was there anyone else in stream chat for the first 10 minutes before I joined? No one was chatting, but I think there were some people watching. So raccoon is the heartthrob of the group. I think because of that, he just has bunch of random connections. So he's always being like, oh yeah, we could go over to such and such and play at this venue. I know a person. They know a guy. He just constantly is knowing guys. He's the one getting them a lot of their connections. I'm looking squirrel-like at the moment. That was not the goal. I think he's also the one who is deciding a lot of their lyrics. They all write the music, but I feel like he's one of the ones who's like working at it the most. I feel like the Crow would be a great lyric writing, but these are your characters and your stories to tell. In any case, I'm excited to meet them. Yeah. The Crow is definitely their creative vision. Like, they work really hard at the creative vision process. I want Crow to be a girl. So she's works really hard at the creative vision process of making things. Raccoon is the drummer of the group. I would say pretty laid back. Knows a lot of people. Always asking people if they want to see his stash, and it's just his stash of randomly acquired goods. The Crow appreciates this, can appreciate a good stash. Something not quite right with this. I need to draw her again. Big fluffy tail. Very fluffy tail. Rounded ears. And big cheeks. It sounds like broom, but isn't broom. Raccoon could charm their way into a lot of their venues that are on the nicer side. I, I, I like to think, at least from my experience of interacting with raccoons, I think they're delightful to run into. They're very cute. Possums too, but I think there's a lot of misconceptions around possums, so they're not always welcome. Just want to make sure the cheek marks are good. His little mask. Little mask and eyebrows. I feel like out of all of the members of the group, the raccoon has the most pretty privilege. Have you earned any money off of YouTube? Yeah, I have. I've made a little bit of money. I think if you've looked at my other videos on the page, there are a couple that have reached 100,000 views. And luckily for me, they did not hit 100,000 views by the time I was able to get my channel monetized, so I made some money off of those videos. Yeah. Definitely need to release more videos, though, to actually take advantage of the fact that I have a small but dedicated audience who likes to look at my Hermitcraft videos. So once I finish Don't Look, I'm gonna work on another Hermitcraft video. Because one, they've come up with some, like, funny content, so definitely need to animate some of those moments. But then also, just give the people what they want. Partly why I do the streams, though, so if there's someone who's more dedicated to my channel than just the thing that they followed me for, there's still content here for them to find that isn't all fan art related. A good mixture of both. Yeah, that second sketch was very much needed. Much better. I think the eyes are a little bit closer together in the sticker sketch. Excuse me. Yeah, there we go. Do I have any side profiles of the raccoons yet? Or did I draw all of them forward facing? I may have drawn all of them forward facing. That might not be great for me. Dang, I drew these stickers a while ago. Oh, yep, nope. All of them are forward facing. Fantastic for me. Cool. Alright, I will have to make a side profile of the raccoons then. I very well might make a plushie of these guys at some point, because I already make plushies of other things. So having a plushie version of these, I definitely will have a plushie version of these. It's just who they are. They're animals. They're very marketable. Like sometimes human characters, sometimes those are hard to make into plushies, but these guys, these guys are very plushable. Alright, let's pull up another view of a raccoon. Raccoon profile. So I don't know about you, but I don't normally look at a raccoon's profile. It's also very pointed. The raccoon and the possum kind of look very similar to each other. So plushable. Exactly. Raccoon is going to be a bit bigger than possum. Need to be careful. If I'm not careful, these guys will look fox-like. Love accidentally clicking buttons. The important thing is keep the ears around it. Let's move them over a bit. Space to breathe. If they ever turn into marketable plushies, do not worry. I will make sure they have their big eyes. Because I'm pretty sure that's half of what makes them look distinct in my style, is the fact that they have really big eyes. Alright. That's pretty darn cute right there. If I do say so myself. I can smell the work that my dad's doing in the backyard. It's it's like a very specific smell. I think he's currently sweeping up some of the pine needles that are in the backyard, so I can smell the dirt that's underneath it. If you're curious, the window is open, hence why I can smell the yard work. These two need to move over so I can do a back view. I don't think I'm getting to gonna be able to get to the actual comic today. I think we'll just be working on you shall just be working on the character turnarounds. You're wondering what I'm doing. I am essentially making the back of the character based off of the front of the character. So you get their silhouette. You can make the back of it based off the front. His fluff facing down. That way, if you were to look at Possum and Raccoon from the back, you'd be able to tell who is who based not only on the shape of their face, but also the shape. Do they have like little circles on the back like tigers, or is it just all black ears? I don't know if I'm gonna see that in the pictures that I have currently. Maybe remove profile and then just look at Raccoon. Maybe I need to be specific. Back of Raccoon. Okay. They do they have like, so some animals, they will have little dots of white on the back of their ears to make it look as if there's eyes, so they're less likely to get snuck up on. Tigers have them for some reason. I'm not sure why. Who's sneaking up on a tiger? No one knows. Good to know for raccoons. Raccoons, it makes sense. Completely understandable. They just want a funky design, I guess. The birds are gossiping. I think I will do the lining on that later. I just want to sketch out the other two. Raccoon. Did I spell raccoon correctly? I think so. It doesn't look correct, but it... We're fine. I know how to spell sometimes. We're good. Heartthrob of the group. Easy going. Always knows a guy. Has a stash. A literal stash. Trinkets. What else? What else did we decide about this guy? Writes half of the lyrics. We'll just go half of the songs. Song lyrics. Awesome. Do like the other 25%. Throb, easygoing, always knows the guys, has a stash, a literal stash of trinkets, writes half the song lyrics. Sounds pretty good, pretty good. Anything else you think I need to put down for Raccoon before we move on to Seagull? It's like wondering why to myself I was so tired, and then I remembered I went to bed at almost 2 because I needed to make the stream thumbnail for today. And then I also had a meeting at 9:30, so I woke up at 8:35. Well, I'm seeing nothing about extra information needed, so we shall start working on the seagull then. Now, out of all of them, Seagull's a true animal of the group. He's comes up with the wildest ideas. Truly, they don't know where he comes up with them. The nice thing about Twitch is that you don't have to make a thumbnail, but Twitch isn't great for discoverability. I don't know. My friend has been doing pretty decently on Twitch, and he just started. I guess it just kind of depends on what you're doing. Granted, he's been making a lot of free stuff for people on Twitch. So that's probably helped with discoverability. You know, I made him look like such a refined gentleman here, but he's not. He's insane. Be the bit. He's designed as if he's a refined gentleman, but everyone knows he's not. Is he always looking for a snack? Always. Always. His favorite snacks? Those, Batman popsicles. Loves those. Cannot get enough. If there's an ice cream truck, he knows about it, and he will find it, and he will harass them until they give him what he wants. Half the band budget does go to snacks. I adore how specific that is. You know, I don't know if I need to draw him a second time. I think that's pretty good, honestly. Sometimes you hit perfection just at the first go. Sometimes perfection is just there, already just there. It sounds like fall outside, but I know the weather is like 80 right now. Or it's gonna be 80. It's 77 currently. Why is the seagull the most sensible one? Why does he look so sensible? Let me pull up a picture of a seagull. Seagull. I think I'm actually gonna need a pretty decent amount of space for his side profile. So we're gonna move this over here. So I need a lot of space. It's necessary. How did I draw seagull in the band poster? Because I want that to be consistent. Can you guys hear the yard work that's happening outside? Dad's using a chainsaw right now. I might need to close the window. He's gonna look more unhinged with his side profile. I can already tell. Faintly, it cuts in and out. All right, let me close the window real quick. Turns out I don't think that was my father. I think that was a different neighbor who also decided that yard work was the thing to do today. Also, viewer count says 1, so it might be Gail. This is alright. I get a decent amount of people who come in after the fact to watch the streams. We get some others. The thing that I am most concerned about is just having people to talk to. Because streams are a lot less fun when you're just kind of talking to yourself. So it's nice when I have people who participate with me. It's a nice little treat. You know, based on how I'm drawing him, you wouldn't think he's the most unhinged of the group. But he's the one who comes up with their wildest ideas. Really off the rocker stuff. Like, they all come up with weird and crazy ideas, but they aspire to be as crazy as he is. I use guys as a gender-neutral term. So when I'm saying guys, I'm not saying, oh, there's a bunch of guys in here. It's more along the lines of there is just people. General people. Oh my goodness. Please, just act like I want you to. Not you. The program? Please? Can we... Why is there text? I didn't add text. I just want to make him slightly smaller so that he fits on the little scale that I have going on. You just... yeah. So, if he's through the off-the-walls portion of the group, he also comes up with a lot of their sound. Just how the songs generally sound, not the lyrics, just like beats, melodies, things of that note. Shares that job with Crow, because Crow also likes doing that. But he's the one who comes up with the most uncommon sounds. You know how like AJR will just make music from the most random things? That's what Siegel likes to do. He'll just find the most unhinged things and build a song from it. I am not surprised that their season 10 is ending, but I don't know. It's just. It makes sense, but it's. I like watching them do their thing. Joel went a little bit insane. Green was kind of like. He was approaching this season differently, but based on how he was acting with any new projects, I'm not surprised that the season was ending soon. I can't wait for the next one in whatever time frame they are ready to work on, but I like when they start a new season because there's always new exciting things going on and they come up with very silly bits. And I like when they come up with new themes. So I'm excited for the next cycle to begin anew, I guess, whenever they do that. The start of each season is so special. Yeah. They are so silly about it. Alright, let's write down all that we know about Siegel. The craziest of the group comes up with their most wild ideas. And wild is relative because they're all a little insane, let's be honest here. But Siegel's the most insane. Craziest of the group comes up with the most wild ideas. Finds their funkiest beats. Here to be I think he gets a kick off of pretending to be dignified. I think that's the explanation on why he looks dignified, but gets a kick of people thinking he's not the craziest of the group. mm. I think he also will just occasionally just have the like crazy good business sense. At some points he's like, yeah, we should probably do this. Like most of the time he's doing insane things, but then occasionally he'll have the ounce of sense that the rest of them are missing. Oh, can't forget. Loves Batman popsicles. Okay. How did you discover Hermitcraft and when did you start watching? I have been watching Green for a while, and he was the one who introduced me to Hermitcraft, hence him being the one I watched the most. I watched him back at season 6 when he first entered, and he was finding his way through that. I hadn't watched any of his other SMP stuff, so any lore that he had from his previous stuff, I learned of that through the fandom, not necessarily through him. So all of his Watcher lore, that was from me finding fan art and stories and whatnot. Mark that seagull. And we just need Crow, and I think we'll be good to call it for the day. Oh, seagull mouths are kind of disturbing. Excuse me. I'll repeat myself. Okay, so I discovered Hermitcraft through season 6. I've been watching Green for a while, and due to that, when he started playing on Hermitcraft, I started watching Hermitcraft, and I discovered all of the members essentially through him. Mumbo Jumbo, Etho, Scar, all of them. So I'm sure that a lot of people had a very similar experience to me where they watched a lot of Grian. And then because they watched a lot of Grian, they discovered Hermitcraft through Grian. I think, like, not that Hermitcraft wasn't doing well before, but I think it really exploded once Grian became a part of the server. Okay. And for our final guy, we've got Crow. I think Crow will have the most sense of the group. She's the most sensible, but she's also the most quiet. She's here because she likes making music. And she likes puzzles, and she likes putting things in. She's the newest member of the group. I think I'll need to draw her a couple times. Very similar to me. Binged watched his season 6 in February 2020, and just as I finished a week later, season 7 began. So there I expanded. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I watched season 6 as it came out, though I didn't watch the last half of it. So I missed their silliest arc. I need to go watch the rest of it, because they went time traveling, and I think that's so funny. And I missed it. I think that's also why it's so good that they do seasons, because it essentially resets people's expectations and energy, and that's why they've been so successful in going on for so long. Because they will just come in and do something new. And that's really helpful for them. I'm not sure if this is giving crow. Let me look at... I love the crow already. This... Okay, let me look at my crow stickers. Crow stickers are not on my computer, so you cannot see them. I am sorry. I think she will have like a quiet sort of grace to her that the other members are missing. How dare you? How dare not show crow stickers? I'm sorry, I haven't transferred them over yet. You will see them at some point, I promise. I haven't drawn Crow a bunch. I don't know why she is stumping me up so much. Maybe it's because her head's so tall? Like the head's too similar to Seagull and height. I want a little bit of fluff. Yeah, that's looking better. Her voice is in her music. Yeah! She was in a previous band called The Murders, and it wasn't quite her vibe. There was too many of them, so it didn't feel like she could really speak out in her own group. So joining this new band has really allowed her to find her own music, her own confidence. She likes being dragged into the antics, but I don't think she's one to start them. Not quite yet. I think she'll find her own sense of chaos as she gets more comfortable in the group. But at first, I think she'll mostly just be a let's go along with it kind of person. Yeah. I think we've got her look. Looks different enough from Seagull. Yes. I think seagulls and crows are very similar sizes. Alright, let's move her off to the side so we have room for her profile. So let's be honest. They have the most dramatic profile views. The birds. Her beak starts more at the top of her head, and it's thicker and more blunt hit than gulls. How do seagull and crow get along? I think they get along. I don't think any of the members in the band fight with each other. Like, they have like little squabbles, but none of them are actually gonna fight. I think Seagull wants Crow to be more bold. And then Crow's kind of content on following along with the group. So then Seagull's constantly asking, how can I get her to come up with ideas? And then she's just kind of happy doing what everyone else is. So maybe they'll get into little arguments about that, where she's like, why do you keep doing that? I'm happy just going along. And the seagull can't imagine not doing their own thing. Maybe they would have a little tiff, quibble, argument about that. Lower them down slightly. So their toes are over the line. Also, I have to do a little bit of research into crows, but I'm pretty sure they're more group-based. So they're less likely to fight each other over things, whereas seagull, they're more individualistic. So they're more used to having to take care of themselves and look out for their own interests. Whereas crow's focus is on the interest of the group. I think crows have a little more pointy, conical beaks. I think it depends on the crow, but the crows I'm looking at have pretty thick beaks. She is newest member of the group. Trying to find her place. Happy to go along with the chaos. Not one to start it yet. The composer of the group brings it all together. Thinks about decisions. For the group. Less to herself. Previous band. The murders. Awesome. Let's save this, because I'm pretty sure I haven't saved this entire time. That would have been bad. It is 1:25, so it's been about 2 hours. I think I'm going to call the stream here. It was very lovely hanging out with you, V, and whoever else joined in on the stream. I will be streaming again, not next week, because I am going to a picture book conference, but the week after that. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And I'm not sure exactly what we're going to be doing. We'll see, depending on how much I get of the Trash Band comic finished. I might work more on that, or we might go back over to book designs, or hey, even doodling Pokemon. So, whatever it is, I will let you guys know 2 weeks from now. Until then, I hope you have a good rest of your day. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed the stream. All right, goodbye.